to bring you an explanation of the 4 Counts Science Safety Contract. Now, the reason why we do this is that we work with um, lots of different items in the science room that are potentially harmful. Things that could burn your eyes, things that could burn your skin, things that can cut you, things that can electrocute you, chemicals that can poison you. So these are, I'm not trying to sound scary or morbid, but these are things that can do you harm. So we have to take precaution and understand that we are here to keep you safe, but also enjoy doing science. And labs are the great things about doing science. That's the fun part, all right? So what we want to do is just go through some of these right now and make sure you understand them, and then we can discuss the room and the safety features within the room once we get in class. So number 1 says, I will always obtain permission before touching lab materials. Like, there will be stuff on your desk. Please be careful with it. Don't touch it. Okay? And that's for several reasons, because some of it could be used during the lab. Some of it could be dangerous. Don't start picking things up. If you have any questions about what you see, just ask me during the lab. Most likely it will be explained. I will protect my eyes, face, and hands while engaging in lab activities by wearing safety protective gear as directed when I'm using any heat, chemicals, or glass. So when you're using heat, chemicals, or glass, safety goggles will be on. Okay, that's just one of our major rules in all of 4Couch. I will never insert anything into a flame unless directed to do so, and I will tie back long hair and secure loose catheters and papers when using a heat source. You're also going to be asked to tie that stuff back too if we're using dissection materials and so on. We will dissect a cow eye. We will dissect an earthworm, and those you don't want that in your hair, especially the chemicals that are in there too as well. So keep that in mind when we're using a flame or anything like that, to make sure your hair is tied back. I will behave appropriately by working only at my design lab station and following all directions outlined by the lab and your teacher. So if you don't follow directions, that leads to problems or things breaking. And things break every single year. Believe it or not, I probably go through 10 beakers a year, a couple graduated cylinders, a couple thermometers. It just happens. Things happen. And if it's an accident, it's an accident. But if you're roughhousing or not behaving appropriately, then I can ask you to leave the lab and sit out in the hallway. And nobody likes to do that. So keep that in mind. We don't eat or drink anything during the lab. And I know you'll have your water bottles, but I usually ask them to put them at the front of the room when we're doing a lab. I'm just going to ask you to put it under your desk when we're doing this lab, okay? I will wash my hands thoroughly after using chemicals and lab equipment. When using chemicals, I will not touch my eyes or mouth until I've washed my hands. That's really important because chemicals can hurt your eyes, skin, and hands, and you do not want to ingest them, say if you were going to lunch. I will report any chemical spill, accident, or injury, no matter how small or immediately. That's important too, because we want to make sure that we don't leave something there where someone could get hurt. So the worst thing you could do is not tell me. I won't get really upset unless I know it's a not an accident. So keep that in mind. I know the location and proper use of the fire extinguisher, fire blanket, eye wash stations, first aid kit, and fire alarm. If a fire breaks out, I know to alert the teacher immediately, and I will not run. So keep that in mind. I will talk about each of those during class today or tomorrow whenever we talk about the safety instructions, and I'll show you the room, okay? There's a lot of cool safety features in this science room, and it's good to have that and understand where those are. So again, this needs signed and returned. This is your name, your signature, and parent name, parent guardian too as well. If this is down here, just ignore these ones, okay? If that ends up being down there. All right? Thank you for listening, and we will talk more about lab safety before every single lab.